be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, September 19th, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. I know that I might be exaggerating a bit here, but for the most part, at 23 years old, most men have some degree of irrational confidence. But when you're 23 and you're already one of the best in the world at what you do, and you're just starting to scratch the surface of what you're capable of, like Urs Kalecinski, well, you actually don't need irrational confidence because you're already proven that you're ready for the bright lights. Even though Urs has been relatively quiet through the early stages of his prep, behind the scenes, the feedback that you hear coming from his camp has been overwhelmingly positive. And the general consensus seems to be that he should be significantly better in a few key areas this time around. At this point, he's so young and so early in his career that time might actually be his best asset because his best days are still way ahead of him. And as long as he stays the course, that confidence will only continue to grow as he climbs the ladder. Now that the NFL is back, we can finally start to drop in some of the football references that we've been sitting on for the last few months. So here we go. In football, coaches like to say that the low man always wins because the low man always has the leverage. And if you followed what Nick Walker's been doing since the start of his Olympia prep, you know that he's doing everything in his power to leverage his way into what would be one of the biggest wins in the modern era of bodybuilding. He's the football equivalent of a high-powered offense that has enough firepower to outscore anyone on any given night. And those teams are the ones that always scare you the most as an opposing fan because you know that they can flip the switch at any moment and then all of a sudden the game is out of reach. So if he just keeps firing and trying to put up the points on the board, he has a puncher's chance to bring home the Olympia win because a small crack in the defense is all it takes for him to be off to the races. Got another football reference for you, and anyone who's ever played high school football can relate to this one. Whenever you pulled up to an opposing team's stadium, you always send the biggest guy on the team out of the bus first because you want everyone on the opposing sidelines to know that our guys are bigger and stronger than your guys and that we're about to give you all you can handle. And anyone who's ever taken one look at Jamie Christian would probably agree with me in saying that he is absolutely qualifies as the first man off the bus material. Last weekend, Jamie the Giant got his season off to a strong start with a top 4 finish at the Yamamoto Pro, which he showed off the size that he packed on during the off season and put together what was his best overall look to date. Anyone who's seen a bodybuilder with Jamie's height, the biggest challenge for them has always been trying to put enough muscle to fill out their frame, which is not an easy thing to do when you're 6'5". But based on what we saw last weekend, he does seem like he's on the right track. And with a few more improvements in some key areas, this guy could end up being very dangerous. And we're closing things out today with a brand new update from 212 legend and original Mr. Super Sliced, Eduardo Correa. A few days ago, Eduardo posted this update photo on his Instagram and hinted in the caption that the official start of his comeback will begin November 5th. And if you look at the Pro League schedule, that would put him squarely in line to compete at the Muscle Contest Fit, which is set to take place in his home country of Brazil. By all accounts, this is the healthiest that Eduardo has been in a long time. And the stuff that we've seen from him points to him being on track to deliver one of those vintage Eduardo Correa performances. So if he can hit the ground running and be the Eduardo that we've seen him be an absolute world beater in the past, then this one might already be in the bag because a 100% Eduardo Correa is one of the best 212ers that we've seen grace the stage. Stay tuned. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.